Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another straight up solo. In this episode we're going to take a look at the solo of Imperial Miners. Let's go ahead and see what this one's all about. Alright folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and if you have, I do appreciate that support. Thank you so much. So what is this game all about? As I fix my mind here. This game is about digging deep into kind of a chain reaction combo situation where as you play cards every turn, you're going to activate the card you play, and then you're going to work your way up the mine, activating each card in a path until you get to the top. And every turn, you're required to play a card, so you're always going to be doing that. In addition, every turn, you are going to draw an event card, most of which are positive, like this overtime event one that I drew just a turn ago. It allows me to activate this bonus right here again, and that will get me 1 point. So I do appreciate that right off the bat. Unlike most games with events where events are punishing, this game, the events seem to be rewarding, which is cool. I appreciate that. And there's a couple of ways you're getting points. First of all, every crystal or gem that you get, pardon me, is worth a point. So that is the point marker right here. And you can get gems for playing different cards, for spending money, for activating different things, and from advancing on these advancement tracks, okay? Second of all, you get points for any completed mine card here, whether it's printed on the board when you complete 2 halves, or whether you are able to place a wooden mine card, completing one that was a half of a card by activating some of these cards. And so at the end of the game, you're going to sum up the total number of completed mine cards, the total number of points, and that's how you get your game, or get your score. Now, this is a beat your own score with a condition. The conditions are right here in the back of the book, and so you're looking at scoring at least 35 points to achieve like the lowest rank and up to 65 or greater for the highest, okay? And that's pretty much it. Now, from a variety standpoint of each game, the mechanics are quite simple and very familiar, but each card is going to do different things, and there are 6 factions of cards mixed into these decks over here. The level 1 cards must be played in level 1, the level 2 and level 2, level 3 and level 3, and level 4 are all the same. They're placed at the bottom. You can only get them through activations like this, and when you play them, they're basically worth 2 points. And they're all the same. These are double-sided, and so you randomly select which sides you want to play with at the beginning of the game, and then that gives you what you're doing here on the tracks. And as you advance in the track, if you ever get to the top, you have to start over on a different track on the bottom. So let me go ahead and show you a couple turns, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Now, these are the cards I have in my hand over here, just kind of messy. And I am in the 7th turn. I'm going to start the 8th turn of the game right here. So let's flip over the event, and the event says this is an end of the round event. It says genealogy, choose a level deck and reveal cards until you find one matching a faction you played this round, if possible. Then add that to your hand and reshuffle the others. Okay, pretty simple there. So what kind of event, as you can see here, I've got a lot of these green ones, which are Scottish, a lot of red ones, which are the Romans, and then a couple of barbarian cards and one Egyptian one. So I've been kind of focusing on that, trying to see if it can do things, because usually the more cards you play of a specific type of faction, they seem to chain together or work well together. And so what I'm looking at here is I've got $6 to spend. So I can't buy a card that costs any more than that. So this one, Exhausted Camel, is right out. We're not going to do that. But what about sculptures? So this one lets me say, it says, advance 1 space for each completed mine cart on this card. Well, that's kind of cool. Except I can only play it over here. Well, I can't play it here because there's nothing above it. And so I really can't play any 2s. I've kind of narrowed myself down. I could play some 3s. So that would be the Animal Keeper card. And this says, resolve the effect of your current space in the progress board, then advance up to 3 spaces. All right, I could do that. Why don't we do that? So I'm going to spend 6. And I'll place it right here, because that's the only legal spot I can place it. And that is going to line me up with at least 1 mine cart and gives me spaces for other ones. And how do I get other ones? Well, I'll show you. But first, let's do this. So we're going to gain 1 gem. These blues are worth 1. Then I advance up to 3 spaces. Well, in this case, I actually am getting near the end of the game. I'm only going to advance 1 of the 3 so I can draw a level 4 card to help me get through a big chain again. So these give you 2 points, but the real thing I think about getting these is it lets you reutilize one of your level 3s again and go back up. So that's cool, and that's the only way to get them is from these tracks. So I've done that. Now, what do? I could either go this way or this way. This will give me 4 gold. This will let me get 2 mine carts. But I have to collapse it, so I can't use it again. The next time I activate it, it would undo it. But I'm going to collapse it. So I'm going to put a collapsible token on here. And that basically means that I can't activate it if I choose it again. It would just reset the card. Then I can put these mine carts on spaces that have half spaces. Well, I have a half space right here, and I have a half space right here. I could have also put one right there, but it really doesn't matter. All right, so that is that turn. And now at the end, it says, draw, choose a level deck and reveal until you find one. Well, that was an Egyptian. So I'm going to choose a level deck of, let's see. I probably want another 3 card. So let's take the 3s. Let's go ahead and resolve. So nope, not Egyptian. That's Japanese. Nope. Yes. Okay. Sometimes they are from both factions like that, and that's okay. That's fine. And then it says shuffle these in. So we'll just go ahead and shuffle these in. Shuffled enough, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. So that is the end of that round. Really simple, right? But I'm an idiot because I forgot as I was going through the years that I didn't activate this. So let's go ahead and finish this up. So I have to activate 2 of these. Or I'm sorry, I get 2 coins because I have at least 2 mine carts on this one. And then at the top, I go ahead and I can either gain 2 gold, spend some gold to move up more spaces, or draw 3 cards. Well, I got plenty of cards, so I'm going to gain the money. All right, there we go. So pretty simple in regards to what you're doing. You basically play the cards, you work your way up, and at the end of the turn, not when I did it, you go ahead and activate this. If it's an end one, sometimes there's continuous ones, sometimes there's immediate ones. So let's see another turn here. This one is an immediate one. It says draw 1 level 1 card and add it to your mine without activating it. Well, that's convenient because I need more level 1 cards. Even though I don't really need it over here, I'll put it over here. And I should say I don't, I just needed I don't want to waste a turn doing that. So that's good. That helps me out. Gives me some flexibility to play a level 2 card next time. But I actually think it may be best over here because I might be able to sneak a card in. And it doesn't matter, even though this looks like it's off the board, you can play as many level 1s as you want. But if I play it there, I might be able to sneak my way in through this side, play another level 2 over here. Versus over here, I'd have to play another 3. And I don't know, that's the puzzle of the game to figure that out. Okay, so I've played it. Now let's see what we want to do. Well, I have 4 coins. It doesn't give me a ton of options for those big 3 cards. The level 4 cards are 0, so I'm going to save that for my last turn. Let's see if we can get a decent... It doesn't fit very well. So this one says gain 1 for each completed mine card on this card. Also doesn't fit all that well. The duel. Place a collapse token on this card, gain 1 for every 2 factions in your mine rounded down. Well, that's not so bad. Because I happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be 5. I won't have all 6, but at least it's a couple points. Let's do that. So we're going to play this right here. And that collapses it. Well, first I pay the coins. That collapses it. And then I'm going to gain, I just counted 5 round down, so I'm going to gain 2 points. Okay. Now I go here, I gain $2 more. And I go here. Now we're getting near the end of the game, and I know my last card is going to be to play this 4. So I don't really need money, so I'm going to spend these 4 coins to advance 2 to 5 space. Well, it's 2 spaces over here. So that's going to go, I'm just going to go 1 space. I could search for a card, but I don't want to do that. I just want the points here. Try to get as much as I can scrape by. Okay, and then that's the end of that. Now my last turn is going to be to gain 3 points or draw level 4. Well, I'll take 3 points because I've already got my level 4. All right, and I told you what I was going to do at the end. I'm going to play this to try to do one more big activation here. The good news about this is I'm going to at least, make that worth 4 points because that connection here is good. However, I think I want to put it on this side because I don't have any money. So that's going to give me 2 points right off the bat. So we'll turn these in from the 5. Then moving my way up, I'm going to do this. Resolve the effect of my current space. That's another point. Gain 4 coins, or gold. I don't know what it is. I think it's gold. Doesn't matter. And then I can gain 2 more. And then for the last thing, I think I'll spend to advance. So I have to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Darn, a little short. So advancing doesn't really help me at the end. I guess I just save my money. I don't think it really counts as a tiebreaker. I'll just get 2. Okay, so that is the end of the game. I've done all of my 10 turns, because that's all you get in this game. And so then we add things up. And again, I don't think gold counts as anything. It's just gems. And yes, end of the game. So it says, once the final event is drawn, then you end the final mine phase. The game's over. Players count their gems. Yeah, it doesn't say that. The only thing with the coins is they're a tiebreaker. Well, let's see how we did, folks. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 in gems, and then 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 36. Well, I am just barely an underground laborer. Hooray for me. So there's a lot more that I'd have to do better to get a much higher ranking there. But I think that's all right for just, getting into this a little bit, not having played it too much. So overall, that is what you're doing in this game. Hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea of the type of play you're looking at. Let me let you know what I think. So when it comes to a lighter game, Imperial Miners is exactly what I'm looking for. It's not that it's light on choices, it's light on overhead rules. And that's good. I don't necessarily need every game to be super heavy in my collection. Sometimes I don't have the bandwidth, the mental bandwidth to play something that has tons of overhead. This game does not have that. You saw 3 turns pretty quickly. It's definitely a half-hour game or so. It doesn't take too long to set up. And yet the choices and the fun are definitely there. There's interactions with ways the cards are played. There's sometimes ways to, do better moves or I'll say it this way. What you're doing is not always obvious by any means, right? Because you're trying to get chains that are better for your overall score. And different cards interact in different ways with other ones that you've played. And so there's a lot of interaction there. And although I think that it might force some light AP with some people who are, trying to calibrate all those different decisions, I don't think it's too bad by any means, because most of the stuff is fairly straightforward in your hand, and what's available in your mind is open information, obviously. So there's not a bunch of tableau cards to pick from also. It's pretty limited in the spaces of the types of things you can do. But I really enjoy it. I think it's fun to have those different tracks. They do different things. You can kind of figure out, well, I need money first. Let me go on this track, and then maybe I'll go to this one after I finish that up. I can spend more or less effort kind of going faster or slower on those tracks, depending on what I'm doing. It's just cool, and I like that. So this one, I would say it gets pretty high marks for me for exactly what it is. And that is cool. I was actually concerned. I was turned off a little bit about a lot of the reviews I saw, like super light. But this isn't a filler light. It's not like that. It isn't hard as far as rules. There's literally 6 pages, not even 4 pages of rules, not including the setup or whatever, to learn. But there's still a lot of fun choices to be had. And I like those kinds of games in my collection. It's not just a light choices are obvious type of game. It's just a light rules, but the choices are fun type of game. So I enjoy it. It's definitely going to keep it for a while in my collection, and I'm looking forward to further plays, looking forward to doing a lot better than 36, and we'll see what happens. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, everyone, and whatever you decide to do in the future, I really, truly hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.